Hey guys, welcome to my October TBR. I am honestly excited, but also a little out of my comfort zone for this month, but I'm ready to jump into it. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and start talking about the books that I plan on reading for the month of October. Now, my typical genre, my favorite genre lately has been dark romance and then a little bit of romance. But my favorite so far is definitely dark romance. Now, I don't have any dark romance planned for the month of October, which makes me nervous. I have some very exciting books that I am looking forward to reading, but depending how this month goes, there might be some dark romance thrown in there just to kind of clean my palette and get me back into what I'm really excited about reading. But I am also excited to read these books. So right now on my list, there are 12 books that I want to read. I do not have all 12 books with me. Some of them are going to be Kindle books, but we're just going to go ahead and jump into the ones that I don't have so we can get those out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the physical books. So the first book that I want to talk about, I actually posted on my TikTok. I had a TikTok about a week and a half or so ago asking for suggestions for October that are kind of spooky but not too scary, because I am a chicken when it comes to horror or anything like that. I do not watch horror movies. I don't even like to watch the TV series Supernatural because I find it too scary to me. So that's where I am. So I put on TikTok asking for suggestions for the month of October for someone who is interested in maybe diving into a little bit of spooky, scary, Miss Octoberish type books, but not something that's going to traumatize me. And one of my responses was to read Slewfoot. I do not have the book handy and I don't even know who the author is, but I do know that I saw Heather McClary read this, I think last year maybe. I'm not quite sure. I know she read it. I'm pretty sure she enjoyed it. So I don't literally know anything about this book, but I'll be reading it and hopefully I will be finishing it, because if you look at the cover, it's not the most, it's kind of got the creepy vibes. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but we're going to try to read it for the month of October. We'll be reading Slewfoot. And then the next 3 books are a trilogy. I have been wanting to read this trilogy for a little bit, but I was waiting for the last book to come out before I jumped into it, because I had heard and seen on TikTok that each book 1 and book 2, ends in an insane cliffhanger. And so I did not want to have to wait for the next book to come out. If book 2 ended in a cliffhanger, I wanted to jump right into book 3. I don't like to wait on pins and needles for the next book to happen. So I've had these books downloaded on my Kindle. I've not read any of them because I was waiting on the 3rd book, which just released, I believe, in September. All that to say, I'm going to be reading the Dear Reader trilogy, also known as the Devil's Backbone trilogy, I guess. The books say like Devil's Backbone chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So I will be reading this. This, from what I'm gathering, is maybe a mystery / Why Choose? I like Why Choose. So that is definitely something that I am interested in. I know nothing else about the book. I'm going in this book blind, and I'm excited because I've heard people who really enjoy this book. And if I do enjoy it, I may end up picking it up and having it on my physical TBR, because I like Why Choose. I like mysteries and that type of thing. So I'm really excited about reading the Dear Reader or Devil's Backbone trilogy. And those are the 4 Kindle books that I will be reading for the month of October. I also do have 2 books that have been on my October TBR for basically the last 2 to 3 years. I always mean to read these books, never do, but this year I will. And that's because I think I'm going to listen to them on audio. And I think that's going to be the only way I can get through these books. but I'm excited. So I have them on physical copy as well, but they will definitely be read through audio. The first book that I have is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. One of the things I did want to try to do is incorporate more classics into my reading every year. Last year I read a bunch of the Jane Austen books, which I did enjoy. This year I wanted to tackle Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and then also Bram Stoker's Dracula. I cannot take this sticker off. It's like melted into the page. I have to get some Goo Gone to take it off. It's driving me insane. So pretend like you don't see that. So I'll be reading or listening to Dracula and Frankenstein. And then the other books that I have are going to be physical, but I think some of them are also on Kindle, but I'm not exactly sure. So I'm just going to start picking these up in no particular order, but I am really excited about all these. So the first book that I picked up is R.F. Kuang's Catabasis, I guess. I have not taken the sticker off of this. This just came out. I have the one with the sprayed edges. I love this. I don't know what it is with this book. This book is so heavy. I don't know what this paper is made of or the thickness of this paper, but this is a heavy freaking book. I ended up picking this for the month of October because in the story, basically, there's a FMC Alice who is wanting to go to a school, and the professor that I think she really is wanting to work with he's killed in a magical accident that could possibly be her fault, and that professor is now in hell. And so she wants to go and, I guess, help him, but her rival, Peter, the MMC, is also wanting to save the professor from hell. And so I guess they go down into hell to try to get him. So I thought this would be a really good book for October because it's talking about, like, the 7 levels of hell, I guess. So I have not read any R.F. Kuang books before. This will be my first, and I am excited. So this will be read in the month of October. I do have the Book of Azrael. This is on Kindle. I have this downloaded. I forgot I've already downloaded this on Kindle. So this is my physical copy. I hate that this is a glossy cover because I'm sitting in front of a window and I feel like I'm blinding you from the sun. I'm going to be reading this. I don't know a whole lot about this. Other than I think the FMC is kind of spunky, I guess. I think it's enemies to lovers. And it's got Diana and somebody. Liam. Yeah. Diana and Liam. Don't know anything about this, but I'm excited to read it. I've heard a lot of people like the Book of Azrael. This is book 1 of Gods and Monsters. I think there's like 4 books in the series, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but we'll be diving into another freaking series. That's how I like them, apparently. So, Book of Azrael, I'll be reading this. I'm also going to be reading Leigh Bardugo, The Familiar. Obviously, this looks straight up like a October read. I don't know anything about this. I do like Leigh Bardugo. Actually, Leigh Bardugo's are hit and miss. I read Ninth House and whatever the other book was, Hellbent, last year, and it was a little bit of a struggle. I had to listen to it on audio to get through it. I'm hoping that is not the case with The Familiar. I don't know anything about this book other than it looks spooky, creepy, crawly, all the above. Yeah, and I don't know. It just says that the FMC apparently plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men, and hucksters where the lines between magic, science, and fraud are never certain. I don't know, but I will be reading The Familiar. I also picked up Gothicana, I think last year or early this year, I'm not sure. This is by Runix. I did read another Runix book, and I don't remember which one it was, but I think I liked it. I'm pretty sure I liked the other Runix book that I did read. But we have Gothicana. Oh, this is a dark romance. I do have a dark romance. Oh, I feel so much better. I've heard this is not the best book, though. I've heard this is not a great dark romance, but we're going to try it. I like dark romance, and I am excited. So this one is the FMC is going to go to another, as a university, so it's a dark romance where the FMC is going to go to a castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. And Vad Deverell is a part-time professor working on his thesis, And he knows the moment his path crosses with the FMC that she's dangerous to everything that he is. People have disappeared every 5 years for more than 100 years. FMC is getting clues to unravel it all, and the MMC needs to keep an eye on her. So it begins a tale of the mysterious, the morbid, the macabre, I don't know how to say that, and a deep love that blossoms in the unlikeliest of places. I'm excited. Hopefully this is good. I need a good dark romance in October, and I'm really hoping this fits the bill. And then the last 2 books, I've had one of them, Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, for probably 3+ years. And then I just recently got The Hour of the Pumpkin Queen. My husband picked this up at Target when he was just wandering around. This one has little end pages. This one does not. But I love, oh so much, the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. It is one of my favorites. It's a staple. And so I love Sally. And so I'm excited to see what this is. I don't know anything about this. The nightmare didn't end after Christmas is what this says on the back. And then this one says the clock is ticking for Halloween Town. I don't know. But I'll be reading these. These are going to be some like middle grade, really easy reads. And this will finish up my October TBR. So excited to read both of these. That is my plans for the month of October. I do only have right now Frankenstein and Dracula planned as an audiobook. I have been trying to incorporate more audiobooks in my reading each month so that way I can listen to the books on the way to and from work. So I will try to find some of these on audio if possible, through Libby, Hoopla, Audible, that type of thing. So I'll try to get these on audiobook, but if not, I'll just try to find some other books that I can listen to in my car. So there will be audiobooks other than those 2 classics sprinkled in to my October TBR, and I'm excited. So today is October 1st. I do still have to finish the book that I'm currently reading on my Kindle. I am currently reading Exile, which is book 4 of Dance with My Devils series. That is a Why Choose romance in an asylum. Really liking that. I think I'm like 60 or 70% through with that book. So I'll be finishing that tonight, and then I'll immediately be diving into these books. So that is the plan for the month of October, and I'm excited to get into some of these books and seeing if I like them. So with that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.